The Padres starting rotation is pretty much set with pitchers Matt Latos, Clayton Richard, Aaron Harang, and Tim Stauffer. But the final spot is up for grabs, and 3 players are vying for the job.
Wade LeBlanc, starting pitcher. This is my 4th big league camp.
My name is Dustin Mosley. I'm from Texarkana, Arkansas, not Texarkana, Texas. I came from the Yankees last year.
Corey Lupke, left-handed pitcher, would be my 4th season with the Padres, drafted in 2007.
While most players use spring training to ease back into baseball, LeBlanc, Lupke, and Mosley are in competition.
It's a little different for me, just a little bit. I mean, just on the fact that I've never been in spring training where I was ever battling for a spot.
But the fight for 5th is a welcome one.
It's going to be a nice battle. They got good stuff. I've looked at some of the things and talked to some of what they've done. So I like these competitions. It seems to always bring the best out of everybody.
I think the best way to explain it would be a healthy competition, because we're all friends. We all like each other. There's nobody on this team that's rooting against somebody else. So you go out there and you try to do your own thing, but at the same time you're actually hoping that those guys do good, if that makes sense, because if everybody's doing good, then it makes the decisions for the management harder, and that's what we're hoping to do.
So far, they're succeeding, says pitching coach Darren Balsley.
All 3 of them are quality. What we see out of Wade, I mean, he was our 5th starter for most of the year last year, and I wouldn't necessarily call him a 5th starter because he did throw well, in my opinion. And when Wade's good, he locates his fastball, he throws strikes, has one of the best changeups in the game. Corey Lupke, a young kid who came up with this last year at the end of the season, throws a little bit firmer than Wade. Changeup isn't quite as good yet, but Corey's a good athlete. I think he'll pick up a changeup fairly quickly, and he's been working hard on it all offseason, and as well as a curveball too. Bright young man, very sharp. And then we got Dustin Mosley, and he came over from the Yankees, and what he does really well is locate his fastball. He works in and out with good movement, basically has all 4 pitches: fastball, cutter, bigger slider, and a changeup. And he's a bright guy. He knows how to pitch to major league hitters and execute and get them out. LeBlanc and Lupke, they're a little bit younger and they don't really have anything to feed off of from the past when they're struggling. Mosley's he is more seasoned than the other 2, and he can reflect back and know what he needs to do to correct his mistakes on the mound a little bit quicker.
So, is the competition nerve-wracking?
No, it used to be, not anymore. Every spring training for me has always seemed to be a competition ever since that I got to the big leagues. I'm always competing somewhere or another, so it's something I'm accustomed to.
You get used to it after a certain amount of times doing it. This is my 3rd time actually competing for a spot, so you get used to it, and then you learn that if you're focused too much on what other guys are doing, then you're not focusing on what you need to do to be successful, and it's actually a recipe for disaster.
Now, Balsley said that while this position really isn't anyone's to lose, LeBlanc may have a slight advantage this early in camp.
I would say Wade may have the upper hand just because he was in our rotation for pretty much 3.5 months last year, making every one of his starts. But if the other 2 show that they can locate their fastballs and get outs up here, it's going to be a tough decision to make. It's probably going to come down to the end of spring training, and the competition's healthy.
Reporting from Peoria, I'm Sharon Heilbrunn.